Hey, what's up guys? I'm Brad and this is Osan Fitness. Today we're going to take a look at a viewer's videos. He sent in a few videos for some form check. The viewer's name is Robert and he's getting into some strongman competition and wants to get a little bit of advice, hopefully to help kind of shore up any weaknesses that he may have at his deadlift. So we're going to take a look at his videos and then we'll do some kind of in-depth review and see what we see. So without any further ado, here's some of the videos from Robert. Alright, so the first video here, this is 3:15, so we're going to take a look at kind of frame by frame. And as we move through...
I don't know that one.
Not talking to you, Alexa. Anyway, so as we move forward, you see here, begin to bend down, now that bar starts to move. So that's already telling me that you're keeping that bar a little bit too close to your shin if it's moving forward as you begin to lean forward. So I would say work on having that bar a little bit farther away from you. You want to have it be kind of midline between the shin bone and the tip of the toe. So that's kind of a good starting position for the bar. So too close to the bar as you stand. Now the other thing I see here is right here. You see this? Watch the knee. See the knee kicking in right here. Now what that's telling me is that your foot position is too wide for where your hand position is. And if you look here, it is not like your hands are directly below your shoulders. So you'd want your arms to be as straight as possible when performing the deadlift. And the wider you go, the more it becomes kind of a snatch grip deadlift and the more difficult it is. So I would say that a good thing for you would be to narrow your stance a little bit so that you have ability to get your hands straight down from your shoulders, and that knee's not going to kick in due to your hand position. So the knee's kicking in, and I don't like to see that. It's not an optimal position to begin to press from or stand up from. The knee kicks in, and then you can see as you stand and the arm moves out of the way, the knee kind of pushes out and you move up. Now again, as you come back down, as that hand starts to come through, you see that knee begin to kick in right here. You see that little frame right there, that knee kicking in right there. So see that knee sliding in laterally. And I'm never a fan of seeing lateral movement on the knee on a deadlift. I don't think it's an optimal position to be able to push from. So that's what I think for the first video here. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the second video. Second video is 365. Begin to bend down to get in position, and you can see that bar is moving already. So we've already touched on keeping the bar too close to you, so that's something I want to work on. I don't mind the head position here. I feel like the head position is good. You look like you're in a good tight position as you are right here. So you're positioning at the bottom of the lift. I like it. I feel like you're in a decent spot. Now what ends up happening as we initiate the movement? Still getting set up, getting braced, and you begin to initiate. So now right here, see this? It's very subtle, but watch that mid back right here. Giving up position, and that back stays kind of in the same general position throughout the majority of the movement here. And what you're seeing is an awful lot of hip movement. Look at all that hip movement right there. So the hips are coming up, you're standing up with the weight, but you're leaving yourself in a disadvantageous position by being so far bent over and having those legs entirely locked out. Now you're putting an incredible strain on your lower back to have to kind of come through and stand your upper body, erect. So it's going to be an incredible strain on your lower back, and this is going to be the major reason for failure when you get to your maximal weight. As you're going to find the point where your lower back is no longer strong enough to be able to overcome the position that you've put yourself into. So what I would recommend here is focus on this chest up position and maintain a chest up position as you go. But what ends up happening is that you go from a chest up position to being more slumped over because those hips are rising faster than that upper body is rising, and you want to move in unison. So that's one of the biggest problems that you have here, is you're not moving in unison. Those hips and legs are moving up and locking out, and then you're finishing out the movement with the back. So you should have more of that back coming and locking in unison with the lower body. So you want to have those movements be more synergistic versus like a one part, two part. So that's what I see here. And that's that rep right there. All right, and this is the last one that we're going to look at. I believe this is 405. We looked at 365 just before this. So we're going to go into what we're looking at here. Same deal. I don't mind this position. I like what you're doing. Kind of a head, looking to try to get that chest up. But then once you initiate the movement, here's what happens. Hips shoot right up. Look at all that movement right there in the hips. All hips right there, standing up, and no movement in that upper body to begin to be erect yourself, upper body wise. So it is an exacerbation of the last video that we saw, where you see those hips shoot up and kind of dominating that lower back. And then we got to work like crazy to get your upper body erect, drive those hips forward, and finish out the movement. All right, Robert. So that's kind of my analysis of what I've seen from your video. In future iterations, it'd be more preferential to be able to see you in the all of you in the frame versus losing part of you as you stand up and losing you outside the frame. However, I do believe that we were able to see enough to make some critiques and some assessments on your form, things that I think will help you. What I see right now is what you're doing is kind of a form flaw. So I believe very strongly that if you're able to kind of correct this one part, two part movement, you're going to find that you'll have kind of an immediate benefit onto your deadlift, and you'll see your deadlift go up if you can keep yourself in a more advantageous position for the entirety of the movement, versus coming up strong with those hips and then leaving your upper body or your upper back in a very bad position and having to compensate for not working together. So one recommendation that I have to kind of cue that or work that a little bit better is a recommendation that I've made before about draping a band over the bar and using some band work to help cue everything moving in unison. I find that when I do that myself, it really helps kind of drive the point home to come together in unison versus putting yourself in that bad position by letting those hips rise and then having to bring that upper body to meet the rest of the movement. I feel like that might help. Also, I feel like you should probably work on some back strength. So I mentioned that a little bit of that caving or that rounding with that thoracic spine. So some mid-back development is going to be good. A myriad of rows are great for that. I don't think necessarily any one row is going to be better than another for you in this instance. Work through a number of the rows, seal row, pendulary row, just a bent row. Those are all things that I think that are going to help build up that mid-back strength and help you for giving up position in that mid-back. And then also to kind of strengthen up that lower back as well, I might recommend doing some good mornings, doing some pull-throughs, things like that. And then one of my last recommendations in terms of things that you may throw in to help kind of improve your deadlift overall is doing some pause deadlifts. So work on keeping that real tight upper back, not giving any position up in that upper back, pulling and being very patient off the floor, and then pausing below the knees. And then maintaining that position and then driving together in unison. And you might also try doing that with some bands as well to kind of keep you in position and prevent you from leaning too far forward. Bands are a really great way of kind of cueing you and showing your body when you're out of position. So I think that if you take some of these things in consideration and implement some of these recommendations into your training, I really do believe that you'll see a really fast bump on your deadlift. I would anticipate, within, a week or two time frame of fixing the form, and then maybe, working to bring up some of that the mid back strength, you'll see a good bump on your deadlift PR, I would think. But anyway, Robert, I want to thank you very much for the opportunity to be able to try to help you. Hopefully some of this does. I also want to thank you for your patience in allowing me to kind of have my leave time back home and, you know, spend that time with the family, and then, you know, get this video back to you when I'm back here in Korea. So I really do appreciate your patience. Thank you very much, and thank you for the support for the channel. It means a lot to me. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them in the chat box below. I'll be sure to respond. You know, I always do appreciate the opportunity to be able to try to help. So if you guys have form check questions, you know, please let me know. Videos either front, like dead front on, from behind, or 90 degree from the side are all the best kind of way to do it. And then try to make sure that all of you is in the frame so I can kind of make assessments on what's going on with each part of your body as I'm reviewing what it is that you're doing. Remember guys, it would help me out a lot if you like, share, and subscribe, and then also be sure to check out the link below for the Train Despite merchandise as well. Remember guys, no matter what it is you think you can't do, like shore up a couple of form issues and improve your lifts overall, get in and train despite. You're either going to find an excuse or you're going to find a way, and I hope that you guys continue to find that way. And I appreciate the opportunity to try to help you guys. Appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.